So this is going to be up here and then over there. So it looks like we're ready. So Project Face 1.2, take it away.
Thank you very much. Just a second, I'm tweeting this. I think that 2 of my 7 followers are in the audience, though. So let me get over to my command center. Here we go. All right, so we are Project Face 1.2. Why 1.2? Because we did Project Face at the last one, and we decided to do an evolution of what we did prior, rather than try to reinvent the wheel and go with something else. So I'll get to our team here in a little bit, but for those that were around Friday night, you might have, or was it Saturday morning? It's a blur. I had a gripe about file sizes, so I wanted to quickly do a little bit of research and show a little. Well, first of all, I've got some boilerplate. We won't go through that. It basically says the URL accomplishes and the copyright infringements that you're about to witness. So there's some challenges in manipulating BIM models for something other than what Navisworks wants to do, or Revit. And those challenges are that the geometry that comes out of this authoring software, that's basically a database that can render the geometry in place, comes out as triangles. And I wanted to kind of show you a comparison of what happens when you create triangles versus when you create objects that are instanced using modern instancing technology and 3D software. So it's hard to see the one on the right because the interface is pretty dark, but basically what I did is I went into Revit and I created a 50-story building, just the windows, just a curtain wall system with some mullions. There's about 3,000 mullions in this. And then I went to Cinema 4D and I did the exact same thing with parametric objects using instancing. Very simple little exercise. So a little something about file sizes. Revit file with this amount of stuff in it, about 3 megabytes. You know, Revit's got a bunch of other stuff in it. I purged it so that it didn't have any families that I wasn't using, things like that. But there's a lot of data in there, right? So it's understandable. There's about 3 megabytes. IFC, not the cleanest file format. It's 18 megabytes. But that still carries a lot of information. But when you want to take it out to a place like Unity so that the VR design guys can deal with it, or you want to take it out to Cinema 4D, or you want to take it out to 3D Studio Max to make some renderings, using FBX, you're still at 7.4 megabytes, and that's just geometry. If you're using instancing technology in something like C4D, we're 192 KB, not MB, KB. It takes 1,000 of those to get you 1 MB. Just a little lesson for those of you that are a little bit young in the audience and have never used a floppy disk. That would fit. So I decided that was not really all that fair. So I went in and I took my geometry and I added all the complexity that mullions have with reveals and channels and slots for the glass and stuff like that. I brought it up to a whopping 213 KB. So instancing technology, guys, let's use it. Anyway, that's my gripe. But why do we want to get out of Navisworks? Why do we want to get out of Revit? You know, there's a whole ecosystem out there of solutions. And quite frankly, there's a whole bunch of people out there that are using that ecosystem of solutions. And the real benefit to BIM is the collaboration that you get with it. That's a picture of a bunch of people in a war room, quite frankly, and it's kind of hard to see, but that's what it is. So that's why we want to do that. That's why we want to get out of the 18 megabyte files, so that we can do this kind of stuff in that ecosystem, in that environment. So a little bit of background. At the last AEC Hackathon, we kind of had this gripe, if you will. This time it's file sizes. Back then it's like, hey, wait a minute. I use Pinterest and create a board, pin anything on the web, go back later. I use it when I travel, pin restaurants and locations and places that I want to go check out and the places that I'm going to. And then I get there and I have them at my fingertips. Use Facebook. Get together with my buddies. We go fishing on the Columbia one weekend. We get home, we all share videos and photos. How is it so easy? And then I get to work on Monday morning, I gotta check my email and see what's in there, and see what attachment people have sent me, or see what link to what download to. It's too hard. So last time we decided that we'd assemble a crack team from around the globe, and in this case we actually truly have a global team here. We've actually gone around the world. We've got Myself, I'm originally from Spain, so I threw it in there, even though I'm here. It doesn't really count. David Diarza. Vishal Purwal is from India, so you can throw it on there. Leon van Berlo and his crack team of OpenBIM folks in the Netherlands today helped us out, and we're very gracious. And then we've got the team from VRcade, Dave, Jamie, and Ivan helped us, and we're very, very grateful. So we're going to get to that stuff, which is the fun stuff here, pretty quick. But a little bit of background. We created a Facebook-like timeline for collaboration online that you can add models to and basically manipulate models inside of this interface and also annotate. And I'm going to do that right now. Let me just jump into the model here. Oh, great, that's not gonna, it's gonna take a little bit to load. So while that loads, we're gonna show you the other piece of this. So while this loads, actually it might be pretty quick. So basically what we've got is an IFC file, again, heavyweight, so there's some limitations. So we've just got one particular part of our scope over here. This is the model. We can click anywhere. We can tell it whether it's complete, not complete, in progress, tie it to 4D data. Very simple interface like we saw earlier another team do. We also have the ability to create viewports that then allow us to basically annotate and mark up on top of the model. But we have this tool over here, this toy, that is absolutely wonderful. So we said, yeah, this is all great. Let's go play with this. So let's check out what these guys are doing. We've taken the same model and we've thrown it over here in Unity, and our Jamie's our friendly MEP engineer, and he's going to check out some of the clashes that are going on in this. So I hope that you can all see the screen. Basically, he's inside the model, he's looking around, he sees some of the pipings in the wrong place. Well, right now, and this is the part that's still under development, I would be able to basically comment on this model, and he has a interface panel in his VR headset that is showing him a heads-up display of whatever we're typing. Not only that, but he can mark up this model, and it's a little rudimentary right now. We're using a technology called screen capture. We are basically creating a screenshot of what he's doing there, and it's being uploaded to our comments here on the viewports. So our intention with this is to bring, whether that be in the office, at the studio where the VR immersive display system is, or whether it be at their computer, we can have an immersive session for clash detection, for collaboration. Because quite frankly, when I drive a Navisworks session, you know, everybody's following me around and tell me, no, look to the left, look to the right. What I really want is for the structural engineer and the electrical subcontractor, they see a clash that's relevant to them and they walk off from where we're at. And they go discuss that in isolation while the rest of the team does something else. So real-time, collaborative, immersive coordination. That's it.